Let me ask you something. Have you ever known exactly what to do but still didn't do it? Have you ever let fear, doubt, anger, or anxiety stop you dead in your tracks, even though you had the power to move forward? That right there is the war between a strong mind and weak emotions. And make no mistake, every winner you've ever admired, every champion, every leader, every unstoppable force, they've faced that same battle. The difference? They won it. Repeatedly. See, the truth is, your life will rise or fall to the level of your mindset, not your emotions, not your conditions, not your background, your mindset. And until you take control of it, you will keep losing to the same patterns: overthinking, procrastination, fear, failure, and regret. But here's the good news. That ends tonight. Today, I'm going to show you exactly how winners think, how they build an unshakable mental fortress that outlasts fear, outworks excuses, and outperforms emotions every single time. If you stay with me for the next few minutes, really lean in. This message won't just motivate you, it will reprogram you. Because this isn't just a speech. I think it's a mirror. And when you look into it, you'll meet the strongest version of yourself. Let's begin. Most people live their entire lives reacting to circumstances, never realizing they have the power to create a completely different outcome just by shifting how they show up. See, winners, they don't wait for perfect conditions. They create their conditions by mastering their internal state. Life is messy. It's unpredictable. You're going to face resistance, disappointment, even heartbreak. But if you let what's happening outside of you dictate what's going on inside, you've already lost the game. You've got to learn to own your state. That's the first rule. It doesn't matter what's going on around you. What matters is what you decide it means and what you do with it. Because I promise you this, the people you admire, the ones who keep showing up no matter what, they don't have fewer problems than you. They've just trained their mind to lead instead of follow. Most people are followers of their feelings, but feelings are fleeting. They're volatile. Winners use them as information, but they never let them take the wheel. Let's get real for a second. There's going to be days where you wake up and you don't feel strong. You don't feel confident. You don't feel ready. But here's what separates winners. They don't care how they feel in the moment. They know their emotions are temporary, but their vision is permanent. They've conditioned themselves to tap into something deeper than mood, something stronger than fear. They've learned to generate energy, clarity, focus on demand. That's not a gift, that's a muscle. And every one of you can build it. But you can't build it if you keep letting circumstances dictate your energy. I'm tired, I'm stressed, I don't feel like it. That's the language of someone who's being run by their environment. And when your environment owns you, so does your past. You're no longer living, you're just reacting, you're just surviving. And survival is not the goal here. Winning is, creating is, becoming is, and that takes leadership. Not out there in the world, but right here between your ears. You don't need a new life. You need a new level of control over your inner world. That's where freedom lives, that's where power lives. Because when you can stand in the middle of chaos and still choose your state, still choose to be centered, focused, grateful, powerful, that's when life bends to you, not the other way around. So the question isn't what life is throwing at you. The real question is, who are you when life does? Fear, doubt, anxiety, they're part of the human experience. Every person on this planet feels them. The difference between those who succeed and those who get stuck isn't that the winners don't experience these emotions, it's that they refuse to let those feelings drive their decisions. Emotions are signals, like a dashboard warning light. They tell you something's happening inside, but they don't get to steer the car. Most people confuse feeling afraid with being weak, but fear is not a weakness, it's a message. It's your mind's way of alerting you that you're about to step into unfamiliar territory, that you're growing, that something important is at stake. Now the problem is when you treat fear like a stop sign instead of a caution light. When you let it take over, it becomes a prison. Anxiety starts to build, doubt creeps in, and suddenly you're paralyzed, waiting for conditions to be just right before you move. But here's the truth. The perfect moment almost never comes. Waiting for emotion to align with your goals is like waiting for the wind to stop blowing before you set sail. You'll be waiting forever. Winners understand this deeply. They've learned to acknowledge their emotions without surrendering control to them. They ask, what is this fear telling me? And then they decide what they're going to do anyway. Think about this. How many times have you let a feeling stop you from taking a step forward? How many opportunities have slipped through your fingers because your mind convinced you the risk was too great, the outcome too uncertain? Those moments are lessons in disguise. Instead of running from those feelings, winners face them head on. They see emotion for what it is, a messenger, not a master. And by doing this, they reclaim their power. They don't deny their feelings. They don't suppress them. They honor them, process them, and then they choose their action based on their vision and purpose, not on their temporary state. This is a skill, and like any skill, it takes practice. It's easy to get caught up in the story your emotions tell you. The I can't, the what if, the maybe I'm not good enough. But winners interrupt that story. They catch those weak emotions early, challenge them, and replace them with empowering thoughts. It's not about pretending to be fearless. It's about being willing to move forward in spite of fear. It's about building emotional resilience that says, I feel this, but I'm not controlled by it. That mindset is a game changer. You have to realize something crucial. Your emotions don't define you. They're a part of your experience, yes, but they're not the whole story. You are so much more than your feelings. When you step back and see emotion as just one part of the picture, suddenly you gain perspective. You don't have to believe every thought that runs through your mind. You don't have to obey every feeling that bubbles up inside you. The power lies in choosing your response. And that's what winners do every day. They don't run from their emotions, but they don't bow down to them either. Weak emotions are signals, not steering wheels. Where you place your focus determines everything. It's the invisible force that shapes your reality, molds your decisions, and fuels your momentum. Winners understand this deeply because they know that where your focus goes, energy flows. If you spend your days fixated on problems, setbacks, and what's missing in your life, guess what? That's exactly what you're going to keep attracting. But if you choose to focus on opportunities, solutions, and what you can control, everything shifts. Most people live in a state of reactive focus. They wake up and immediately get pulled into distractions, worries, or negative thoughts about what went wrong yesterday or what might go wrong tomorrow. Their minds are a battlefield of chaotic, uncontrolled focus that drains their energy and clouds their judgment. But winners don't let their minds wander into that storm. They train their attention like an athlete trains their body. They decide what to zoom in on, and they do it with intention and clarity. Imagine your focus as a spotlight in a dark room. Wherever you shine it, that's what you'll see clearly, and that's what will grow. Shine your spotlight on problems, and problems will multiply. Shine it on possibilities, and suddenly doors start opening. It's not magic, it's science. Your brain is wired to notice what you look for, and your actions follow your attention. So if your focus is scattered or negative, your energy is fragmented and your results will be weak. But when your focus is sharp and solution-oriented, your energy is concentrated and your results become unstoppable. This doesn't mean ignoring challenges or pretending everything is perfect. It means shifting your mindset from being a victim of circumstances to being a creator of your life. Instead of obsessing over what's broken, you ask, what can I do right now? What's within my control? What's the next best step I can take? That question alone changes everything because it pulls your focus away from helplessness and into empowerment. And here's the kicker. Focus is a choice. It's not something that happens to you. It's something you decide. You can't control everything in your environment, but you can control what you pay attention to. Winners don't waste energy on things they can't change. They don't get stuck in endless worry loops or ruminate on failures. Instead, they train their minds to scan for opportunities, lessons, and progress. The power of focus is also about how long you sustain it. Short bursts won't get you there. Winners develop the discipline to stay locked in even when distractions and doubts creep in. They build rituals and habits that support sustained focus, whether that's through meditation, journaling, visualization, or simply setting clear priorities. This daily practice becomes their secret weapon. Remember, your mind is like a GPS. It will take you where you tell it to go. If you feed it distractions and doubts, it will get lost. But if you feed it clarity and purpose, it will guide you straight to success. Focus is the force that shapes destiny. Success isn't about how you feel in the moment, it's about what you do consistently over time. That's a hard truth that many people resist because it means they have to show up even when they don't feel like it. When you let your feelings dictate your actions, you give away your power. You become a slave to mood swings, motivation highs and lows, and the endless roller coaster of emotions that nobody can control all the time. Winners don't wait to feel motivated. They act in alignment with their goals regardless of how they feel. Discipline is the bridge between where you are and where you want to be. It's the daily practice of choosing what's best for your future self, even when your current self wants to quit, procrastinate, or settle. It's what separates those who dream from those who achieve. And here's the thing, discipline doesn't mean punishment or deprivation. It means honoring your vision and your potential by building habits that support it. Most people think discipline is some kind of rigid, joyless grind, but discipline, when aligned with your purpose, is actually liberating. It frees you from the chaos of your emotions and the unpredictability of motivation. Instead of asking, do I feel like it? Winners ask, is this what I do? They create standards for themselves, and they don't negotiate with their feelings. If you want to win, you've got to stop bargaining with your emotions every time you face resistance. Imagine the difference between someone who exercises only when they feel motivated versus someone who commits to showing up every day. The motivated person's progress will be hit or miss. The disciplined person will build unstoppable momentum. The same principle applies to every area of life, whether it's building your career, relationships, health, or mindset. You don't become successful because you feel like it. You become successful because you do it consistently. Now, discipline isn't about being perfect. It's about being consistent. It's about getting back up every time you fall, about showing up again and again, even when things get tough. Winners understand this. They know that it's the small actions, repeated over time, that create extraordinary results. It's not the one-time burst of energy or inspiration. It's the daily grind, the routine, the commitment to excellence that compounds into greatness. Here's a secret. Your feelings will always be unreliable. Some days you'll feel strong, other days weak. Some days excited, others tired or discouraged. But discipline is what keeps you moving forward regardless. It creates a foundation that doesn't crumble just because your emotions fluctuate. So ask yourself, are you committed to your vision more than you're committed to how you feel right now? Because that's where winners live. They don't wait for perfect feelings or ideal circumstances. They create the conditions within themselves through discipline and consistency. Discipline crushes emotion in the long game. You will never outperform your self-image. That's a powerful statement, and it's absolutely true. What you believe about yourself, deep down at your core, dictates what you think is possible, what you're willing to fight for, and ultimately what you achieve. Winners don't just set goals, they transform their identity. They ask themselves, who do I need to become to win this? Because they understand that your results are a reflection of your internal story. If you see yourself as someone who can't handle failure, who's not worthy of success, or who's not capable of greatness, guess what? Your life will play out in alignment with that belief. This is why so many people get stuck. They keep chasing goals, but no matter what they achieve, it never feels enough. Because the problem isn't the goal, it's the identity behind it. If you don't upgrade who you are internally, no amount of external success will satisfy you. You'll keep hitting invisible limits. That's the trap of a weak emotional foundation. It's built on limiting beliefs and stories you've accepted as truth without questioning them. Winners break free from this loop by rewriting their story. They don't wait for their circumstances to change to feel worthy or capable. They step into a new identity first, and then everything else shifts. This is how transformation happens. It's not just about what you do, it's about who you become in the process. When you see yourself as a winner, a leader, a person who takes massive action and handles setbacks with resilience, your behaviors will align with that identity. You will naturally make choices that support growth and success because they feel congruent with who you are. Changing your identity isn't about pretending or faking it. It's about consciously choosing beliefs and habits that empower you, even if they feel uncomfortable or unfamiliar at first. It's about challenging the "I'm not good enough" stories and replacing them with "I am capable, I am deserving, and I can overcome." This is an ongoing process. You have to feed your mind with new evidence through your actions, your language, your environment that reinforces the new identity you're creating. And here's the beautiful part. When you upgrade your identity, your weak emotions lose their grip. Doubt, fear, and insecurity start to fade because they no longer fit the new story you tell yourself. You build emotional strength because your foundation is no longer fragile. It's built on a rock-solid belief in who you are and what you're capable of. Remember, the mind loves consistency. If your actions don't match your beliefs, you'll feel tension, frustration, and confusion. But when your identity and your behaviors are aligned, you experience flow, confidence, and unstoppable momentum. That alignment is where winners live. That's where the magic happens. So if you want to think like a winner, start by upgrading your identity. Ask yourself, who do I need to become? What beliefs do I need to adopt? What habits do I need to build? When you answer these questions honestly and take action accordingly, you will unlock a power inside you that weak emotions can never touch. Identity drives behavior. Upgrade it. You don't get a strong body by accident. You have to work for it. You have to push yourself beyond the comfort zone, day after day. The same goes for your mind. A strong mind is not something you're born with. It's something you build. It's a muscle that grows stronger with consistent training, with intentional practice, with daily commitment. And yet, so many people neglect this part of themselves. They focus on external achievements, on quick fixes, on waiting for motivation to strike, but they forget the foundation, training the mind. Think about it. Your thoughts shape your reality. The stories you tell yourself, the beliefs you hold, the way you interpret events, these are the building blocks of your experience. If you want to be unstoppable, if you want to think like a winner, you have to start by becoming aware of what's happening inside your own head. What are you feeding it every day? What habits are you creating? Are you nurturing your mind with positive, empowering inputs? Or are you letting it run wild with doubts, fears, and negativity? Training the mind means intentionally choosing what you consume, not just food, but information, experiences, conversations. It means reading books that challenge you, listening to ideas that inspire you, and surrounding yourself with people who raise your standards. It means journaling to process your emotions and clarify your goals, meditating to calm the chaos, and visualizing the future you want with vivid detail. These practices aren't just fluff. They're the tools champions use to build resilience and clarity. Here's the thing about mental training. It's not a one-time event. It's a daily ritual. Just like you wouldn't expect to get in shape by working out once a month, you can't expect mental strength without regular practice. You have to show up for yourself every single day, even when you don't feel like it, even when distractions try to pull you away. Because every day you invest in your mind, you build new neural pathways that make strength, focus, and positivity your default. This is how you create an unshakable foundation. When challenges come, and they will come, you won't be swept away by fear or doubt. Instead, you'll respond with calm, clarity, and confidence. You'll be able to shift your perspective quickly, manage your emotions effectively, and make decisions that serve your highest goals. The weak mind is reactive. The strong mind is proactive. And the difference comes down to how you train it. So don't underestimate the power of mental fitness. It's just as important as physical fitness, and it requires just as much dedication. Start small if you have to. 5 minutes of meditation, 10 minutes of reading, a moment to breathe and reset during your day. Build from there. The compound effect of these small habits is massive. Over time, you'll notice your thoughts become clearer, your emotions more balanced, and your mindset more resilient. You are the guardian of your mind. Train it like your life depends on it, because it does. The mind is a muscle. Train it daily.